Good morning, everyone. We're continuing in the words of the Ramban, and he ties up some of the loose ends of the last few lessons that we had. We spoke about previously that wealth is not a reason for anyone to become haughty and arrogant, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu determines how much each person is going to have. Some are wealthy, some are poor, some have means, some do not. And Hashem is the one who determines who is going to have exactly the amount of money that they possess. So even if you're a rich man, it's nothing for a person to boast about, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu is the one who has given it to him. We mentioned about the illusionary world of kavod, of honor, that a person lives in, where they receive honor, they receive fame and fortune from others. Others give them the accolades and bestow praises upon them. That's also false. The real kavod, the real honor in this world belongs to Hashem. HaKadosh Baruch Hu gave us our strengths and our abilities and our talents and our greatness. Whatever Hashem has given us, that's because we're supposed to use it as shluchim, as the messengers of Hashem in this world. So kavod also, it's transitory. It's not something that is long-lasting. Rather, it is just an illusion that we have here in this world. And the last thing that we discussed yesterday is chachma, is the wisdom that a person contains inside of them. Wisdom is something that if Hashem gave me the mind to be opened up, to plumb the depths of Torah, of knowledge, of wisdom that is out there in the world, and I can comprehend, I can understand, I can even have insights for all the people that ever created something in this world. Hashem is the one that gave them those thoughts. Someone who wrote a sefer, who wrote a book about all of his chidushim, his novel concepts in the world of Torah. Hashem gave him the thoughts. So the wisdom that I have to recognize. In comparison to the chachma, to the wisdom that HaKadosh Baruch Hu has, my wisdom is a fraction, a minuscule fraction of all the wisdom that is out there. As a result of this, says the Ramban, Nimsa hakol shava livnei hamakom. Because of this we find that every person stands equally before Hashem. Kiva apai mashbel geim. Because when Hashem is angry, He can cast down and He can lower those that are lofty and arrogant. Ubir etzayim magbiya shvalim. And if HaKadosh Baruch Hu wills that it should be, He will elevate and lift up the people that are downtrodden, that are lowly. L'chein, therefore, says the Ramban, hashpil atzmecha, humble yourself, v'yinasecha hamakom, and then HaKadosh Baruch Hu will lift up you. Says the Ramban, whether you're rich, whether you have great honor, or whether you have tremendous amounts of chachma, of wisdom, don't allow these things to lift yourselves up, because HaKadosh Baruch Hu, He turns things around in an instant. In an instant, a person can be on the highest of heights in his monetary abilities, and tomorrow the market crashes and he loses it all. A person can have all the kavod, all the honor, all the glory, and he makes one mistake which he gets caught on, and he loses everything in this world. A person has wisdom, they have knowledge, and they can utilize it in the right way. And then, as we spoke about yesterday, Rahmana litzlan, it could happen that a person, they'll lose the ability to retain the information and remember what they learned. And therefore, it could come and go. So what should a person do? Recognize the reality of this world and hashpil atzmecha. Continue, as the Ramban has been written over so many times already in just 18 short verses. The Ramban says again, humble yourself. Because if you remain humble and you remain lowly and you take away the self-effacement and you try not to have gaiva, haughtiness, then the Nasacham Hamakim HaKadosh Baruch Himself, He's the one that's going to elevate you. There's a fascinating midrash that says over there that a noble woman once came and asked Rav Shimon ben Chalafta the following question. She said, what is your God doing all of these years since Shisha Yemei Bereshit, since the 6 days of creation? What does He do to occupy His time? He created the world already. The world's running. What is Hashem busy doing? Answered Rav Shimon bar Chalafta that he said that until this very day, you should know that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is up in Shemayim making ladders, And what does he do with those ladders? He lowers down one man and he raises up another. And that's the nature of this world. We rise and we can fall. There's a beautiful Maisa, and we'll conclude with this. Rav Nosson Tzvi Finkel, Zecher Tzadik Livrocha, is the great Rosh Yeshiva of the Mir Yeshiva. He came to America once. The yeshiva was in dire straits, and he needed a large loan to be able to cover their costs. He came to a very wealthy man in New York, who was an ex-Talmud, I believe, an ex-student of the yeshiva, who had become quite wealthy, and he asked him for $1 million loan for the yeshiva. The man was happy that he had the money at his disposal, and he wrote over the check, and they agreed that he'll have 1 year to pay back the money. A year passes, and Rav Nosson Tzvi Finkel is back in America, and he comes to this gvir, to this very wealthy man, with a check for $1 million to pay off the loan. When he hands over the check, the wealthy man begins crying. And he says to Rav Nosson Tzvi Finkel, Rebbe, he says, this is the only money that I have left in the world. The market crashed, and this happened, and my business went sour, and I lost all of my money. The only money I have now is the check that you've given me in my hand. That's the way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu runs the world, and therefore the more that we stay humble, even when the times are good, especially when the times are good, to recognize all the chesed that Hashem does, even when we stay humble, we have to recognize for the humility. That's the way that HaKadosh Baruch Hu is going to lift us up. Whether He'll lift us up in this world, or it'll be a great elevation for our neshama in the world to come. From everybody here at Makor HaChaim, we're wishing you a wonderful day.